It's hard for me to walk. Obviously, it was pretty tough for me to just roll over to my back and on my side. The initial point of contact. So it was tough. I mean, I didn't want to make any speculations, but I was just praying that it wasn't anything too serious.
How much of a relief was it for you that it turned out the X-rays came back negative and it turned out to be muscle injuries?
It was very relieving, knowing that it was just based on how I felt, day-to-day thing than a fracture or anything like that where you need surgery and out weeks or months or whatever. So I'm glad it's just based on how I feel.
What has been the nature of your rehab from this, and how close were you playing last night?
Just seeing how I feel, going through, drills and different movements, pushing it, to a limit and seeing what's comfortable and what's not comfortable and what I'm able to do, as far as running and, normal moves I usually do on the floor and kind of go from there. And like I said, every day is getting better, and I'm a lot closer than I was, 3 days ago. And made some more progress today. So, when I feel like I'm able to get back to my old self and do the moves that I've always done and be successful at it, then that's when I'll be able to get back on the floor.
What among those moves is sort of the most difficult? Is it like sidestepping, jumping, running down the lane? Like, what's the most difficult right now?
Right now, I'm just trying to get back into just basic movements. I haven't really sprinted yet. I'm going to try some of that, either today or tomorrow. Haven't done any contact yet, so I think those are just the two biggest things. If I'm able to take contact and able to run, then the rest will be fine.
What's impressing
most about the team keeping up the win streak that you have?
Our pace. The pace we've been playing offensively, the way we've been playing defensively. Guys have been stepping up. AC, QC, Troy just came in and played well. Every time he's been able to be on the floor, Kuz take that starting role and shine in it. We all know what he's able to do. We have guys where, God go down. We have everybody on the team who's always ready to go. So the way we've been able to win, it's been very impressive, and I'm excited for these guys. We getting, guys getting their confidence. Guys who haven't been playing. Troy and QC and coming in and playing big minutes and contributing, to what we're doing. So, guys are always ready and being very great at being a professional.
Bogle was saying that you're still experiencing some soreness. What's the pain level like right now?
Just here standing talking to you. Right now, just started talking to you. 0 right now. I mean, it's the movements that kind of get me. But like I say, I'm getting closer. Get back on the floor with these guys, but from the last 3 games, it looks like they don't need me, so kind of take it a little bit slower than usual.
Well, the Lakers will take their show on the road after tonight's game. LA will head east for a 5-game road trip. 5 of their next 6 opponents are currently playoff teams. So, Zeke, you heard AD joke at the very end, like, look, they've won 3 straight without.
Bucks and Knicks, who themselves need help, and this is how you act when you know you're playing the Knicks. Anyway, Giannis, early, often. Lead was 8. Knicks keeping it close, down by just a few. Julius Randle's played some good basketball, 25-15, lead down to 5, but you talk about undefendable. Defend that, Grant. Wow.
Form a wall right there. All those power forwards got to get in the paint.
They got enough of them to choose from. I digress. Middleton, 17, lead 15, and growing. Candace, is this 1-on-7? I don't even.
Wow.
That is like.
How do you guard that?
It's like playing 21.
That was like, get off me.
Any shot, 10 of 12 from the free throw line. I think we need to shout that out because Giannis is improving right on cue.
And dropping
his jump shot.
A long 3.
I agree, and watching these highlights where the Knicks are now down about 87, I'm thinking about Giannis at the free throw line also. Giannis 37 and 9 in 21 minutes. Is that efficient? Sounds like it. Zeke? pretty darn good.
Ooh, nice touchdown. Is that score right?
No, it's correct. Yes. It is. It's 128-102 by the time it's done. 37 for, I mean, you talk about an efficient Giannis, 12 of 17, 9 boards. And we talked about, look, the group with Memphis, Corey. How about the group with the Bucks? They lost Brogdon. A lot of questions about do they have enough. DiVincenzo playing more. Sterling Brown has played well. They really have stepped up. But Candace, we're talking about now per minute output. And that's a big thing in the league. How about most games 30 points in less than 30 minutes in a single season? The record.
But here's what's so impressive. I mean, Steph Curry's impressive.
Yeah.
He's shooting threes, and he's making threes, and that's impressive. But Giannis is doing this with twos. And so just the way that he's scoring the basketball, we didn't know if he was going to be able to do what he did last year, and he's doing it better. Shooting, taking threes, making his free throws. Giannis is the MVP right now.
No, I agree.
He's MVP.
I agree. And what's impressive about him is every year he's gotten better.
Yep.
You look at his numbers, they've improved. He's gotten better every season. And he wasn't satisfied last year. He's going to MVP, but he wants to get to that next level. His team is playing well. I still want to see them in the playoffs. Are they going to make adjustments when they get knocked back? That's the sort of the thing with them last year. I didn't think they did a good job against Toronto in doing that. But I think right now they've been consistent all year. They have to be the favorite coming out of the Eastern Conference.
Here's what gets forgotten, that you don't have to load manage when you're managing that kind of minutes. The leads they have that enable him to not play in those forts. Yeah. And how dominant, Zeke, those teams have been to put him in spots where you don't have to play him late in the game.
Well, as Grant said and Candace said, he's the MVP right now, and the consistency that they're playing with, we thought that Philadelphia would be one of the teams that would challenge them. Boston looks like the team that it may be in the East. I do think they match up better with a Boston team because of the lack of physical size that Boston has right now. I thought Philly would give them some problems, but it looked like Philly may, I don't know if they're going to get there. But right now, Milwaukee is the dominant team in the East. And you have to give Giannis a lot of credit for that.
I know where we're never going to get to, a place where we forget your dancing, because it's going to
no more
be
dance.
remembered.
I
no
look
more
like a
for
little
now.
Muppet.
We've got much more coming up on Game Time as we continue to roll your way. Ice Trey in action.
Now Trey can dance.
Trying to close down things on the Suns. Could he book a win against Denver? Studios at his center court. And Game Time presented by Kia. Hall of Fame cast, I'm here too. Casey Stern, Grant Hill, Candace Parker, Isaiah Thomas. Fun night around the association, a lot of basketball, and we got rid of the left-hand drive for those who missed the big news, and in now the open, the dunking, which is, and not like you superimposed dunking over Zeke, but you doing your thing, Candace. You happier about that?
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome. This is when you're directed by things upstairs and we don't mean in your brain, and then all of a sudden you blame production in a tweet. That's coming later. In the meantime, here's Kawhi. I would say he's managing just fine because Zeke, when he has played, looked fantastic, healthy, played well.
He's found his rhythm in this league in terms of when to rest and when to play. And this has been he's been consistent with this since San Antonio. So San Antonio, Toronto, and now the Clippers, this has been his pattern of play, and he's always played well with his load management.
Game was tight late in the first half, in which Kawhi had 26, Candace, in the first half alone.
I mean, we all know what Kawhi can do, and that's why I think I believe so heavily in this load management thing. I mean, G. Hill, can you imagine we would have had load management during our career if that was a thing?
I can't imagine at all.
I mean, listen, he's going to be at his best when it counts.
I'm still trying to find out, who came up with the name load management?
It should be body management.
Okay, well, we could just call it rest. Either way,
Exactly, rest would be a
the
great
Cavs
way.
needed one early because this game had a 30-point advantage, and then some of it was growing, and it wasn't going to stop. We have not seen, Zeke, a lot of Kawhi and Paul George together with PG-13 dealing with the injury. That's what you wonder, how much of that for continuity as we go on the season is something we look forward to.
Well, I think once the playoffs get closer and when they do get in the playoffs, these two will find a way to play together and be extremely effective.
By the way, very nicely done as Grant almost spilled something on set. That's called getting even with a teammate kick save, Candace. By the way, and a beauty, Luka Doncic, who's been that and then some all season. Pedestrian first half for him, G. Hill, but Dwight Powell and company were great. Powell 6 of 6 at 15 in the first half. Hardaway, the rest of the team has followed. They really have played a balanced style for the most part, in addition to Doncic. By the way, some good balance there from Golden State. Happy on the bench, down though 15. Late in the first half, more work inside. Rick Carlisle, a lot of good credit for the coaching, deserves it, but watch here. Tough fall. How dangerous are all these scenarios, Grant, when you go up in a spot like that?
You know, every time you go up, there's always a risk in traffic of somebody landing on somebody's foot and getting hurt, and obviously right there, you hope it's not too serious for that young man.
Jacob Evans, they take him to the hospital, get evaluated, receive further testing. We hope, and so far it seems like things will be okay. That's the best news you could hear. Better than what happened on the floor, where inside, too easy inside the paint there, Candace. Second chance points.
Yeah, I think, Dallas had their way this entire game, really. I mean, if you look at the plus minus, everybody on Golden State in the starting lineup was at least a minus 20.
Zeke, Powell 21, 9 of 9 from the floor. Doncic, who only had 20 and 8.